everybody, I'm Beebs Kelley. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to talk a little bit about hairstyles. So if your hair is long enough to wear either up or down, you can do an updo because you do need at least collarbone or longer hair to be able to do successful updos. Most updos though, you definitely need to be to at least shoulder length to do real updos without extensions or pieces added in. You know, like for example, a ponytail extension can help you to make a more voluminous updo or add some more interest to your updo, make it a little bit bigger to be better proportioned or create better balance for your updo. But if you don't want to do any of that and you just want to be able to do normal buns and chignons and fancy updos and use braids or things like that with it, then you do need like shoulder length or longer, somewhere around there, to be able to achieve that. So if your hair is long enough to do that, then it can actually be really difficult to decide, should I wear my hair up, down, half up, what should I do with my hair for specific outfits? Because not only do you have the outfit and its silhouette, particularly neckline area, but you also have your face shape and your head shape and the length of your hair and the volume of your hair. You have so many factors that it's very difficult to decide on and find the right type of hairstyle for you. Something that was happening for a long time was just more volume is always the way to go, or to add a lot of height, particularly if you have a really round or wide face. Like a lot of the times, actresses who were plus sized would get these like humongous towering hairdos that were like slicked back and like 6 inches tall. It was weird. It was a bad idea. Volume is not always the answer. Height is not always the answer. You really need to take each look on its own. Lately, we've been seeing the exact opposite, which is super slicked back, super flat and sucked down to the scalp type of hairstyles in really tight buns, or just like really like almost oiled back sorts of hairstyles that are just a little too minimalistic to the point where for some people it's not very flattering, particularly making their face look maybe longer or wider than it is. This is an example of one of those really tight ballerina buns, super slicked back looks that did not do any favors. I am using Meghan Markle for a lot of these examples here because, as I've said before, there's a lot of value in looking at one person across many different looks to see and start to understand what we're talking about when it comes to proportions and what looks best and what doesn't and why, so that you can then apply it to yourself. It helps if you eliminate the variables of having tons of different people in the lookbook catalog at once. So here in this really aggressive, horrible red dress, which I have actually 2 videos on it now, maybe it'll feature again someday because it is just one of the most shocking things I've ever seen made. Regardless, it was already a really severe design of dress, and it had these thin straps, not spaghetti straps, but thin straps across these broader shoulders, and everything was too tight. So there was some bulging along her back and her shoulder area, as well as the armpit area looked to have some bulging happening. So when you pair all of those things up with a really tight slicked back ballerina bun, it made the entire look very severe and look quite off balanced. In some situations, it made her neck look shorter and thicker and her head look smaller compared to those broad shoulders. You don't want that with outfits. I think a half up would have been the best bet for this particular outfit. Still up and away from the face, but have some softness down around the shoulders to not only break up the distance from the neck to the tip of the shoulder, but to just, as I said, add softness to the area to combat that really angular, severe strap situation that burned our eyes. That's an example of a severe or angular, really structured outfit not being compatible with a structured, more severe hairstyle. And let's not be mistaken here. Very slick, tight, tied back, sort of aggressive buns or ponytails are a more severe hairstyle. Things that have curls down around the face, having your hair down, even if your hair is straight, can add softness. So the amount of volume can also overwhelm a slick updo. For example, something that has a lot of volume and is kind of making you look bigger in a lot of these areas. A lot of the times you'll want to go for an updo, but something that's too sleek, small, simple, and tight might end up making your head look super small and throw the balance even further and throw things even further off of balance. We've all seen hairstyles that look disjointed or don't seem to flow or look too severe or too messy with outfits so many times. We've done it ourselves in our life countless times too. There's no hard and fast rule. As I said, to help you figure it out, it really depends on like 1,000 variables. So that's unfortunate, but the best thing you can do to sort of guide yourself or figure out a good hairstyle for a certain outfit is to take some pictures. Put the outfit on and tie your hair back in a sleek bun so it's really away and sort of hidden from the front view, and then do something that's completely soft, wear your hair completely down and, you know, around the face, and then do something sort of in between. Whichever seems to give you the best balance or is the most comfortable to wear, the most comfortable and confident you feel when looking in the mirror, is the sort of silhouette of hair that will match that particular outfit's silhouette or proportions the best. If you're in a pinch and you can't do that, then just look at the outfit itself or put the outfit on and take a look. And you can even just pull your hair back away from your face, put it all behind your shoulder, and then bring some around your shoulders. Because really the main areas are going to be around your neck, jawline, and collarbone are the most impactful areas. The shoulders are as well, to see whether there's too much volume or if it looks too overwhelming with the hair. We've also seen instances like this where Meghan was wearing a higher collar line and her dress clearly had a lot of volume, and then she just had so much hair. She had lots of extensions, her hair was quite long, and she had it all over her shoulders. This was a mistake. This created a really closed in, overwhelmed look. It looked almost childish, like she was being eaten by her hair and the dress. It made everything look too big. A part of that is also because she tends to have things really come down around her face and frame along her face in these areas a lot as well. No matter what you're doing with your hairstyle, having hair down around these areas, face framing, hair that falls into the sight lines of the face, are going to give a more closed in appearance no matter what. If we're very proud of our hair, for example, we have long hair, thick hair, we're just really proud of it, we've grown it out, we love it, whatever it is, you think it's one of your best features, brings you a lot of confidence, no matter. When we really love our hair or are proud of it, we might want to really show it off, and a lot of the times our instinct is to just have it all here and all around us and taking up as much space as possible and getting as voluminous as possible and just being huge, big hair. Old beauty pageant style. Get your hair big, girl. A great blowout, a lot of bouncy volume, and it will often fall around the face. However, when we're connecting with others, whether it's on screen, where through a camera, or we're connecting with others in person, like we're going and meeting them in person, having meetings, going to dinners, whatever. When we're connecting with people, if we have hair falling into our sight lines and falling over and really tight over our eye area, it is not only hindering our vision, but it's preventing others from really connecting with our eyes. It's hiding some of our expressions. It hides some of our facial expressions that we see around here, the sides of our eyebrows. It hides some of our cheek area when we smile, and it can hide around the edges of the jawline. So it's hiding some of our facial expressions, and the tendrils, as people call it, that Meghan wears around her face a lot, also make her eyes, which are already deep set and rather small, look even more dark, deep set, and small, because it creates additional shadows around her eyes as well. So when we have our hair blown away from our face, or pinned or lifted, or we have our blow dry done in a way where our hair is coming up and away from our face some, it can still be coming around our face, but you want to keep it away from your actual eye sight and eye line area at least. You don't want it coming in any closer than right here, like where the ends of your eyebrows are and where like your temples are. You don't want to block this space if you're connecting with others. It's a basic etiquette rule. Yes, there is etiquette for your appearance and your hairstyles and your makeup. You don't want things that are excessively distracting, which having your hair in your face and in your eye area is distracting both to you and to the person trying to look into your eyes. When we make eye contact, which is good etiquette and essential for connecting with others, building rapport, building trust, getting to know each other, all of those things, eye contact is so key. And when we have something inhibiting eye contact, preventing it in some cases, it is not polite, it is poor etiquette, and it's impractical. It also makes a lot of us feel like, oh, I want to scrape it or pull it away from the face. It drives us nuts when we see it because it's like, would be annoying to us if our hair was in our face, and we know that that would be annoying to us, so we want to push it away because it signals that annoyed feeling in our own minds from our own experience. So Meghan Markle's face shape and her hairstyles are not always super in sync with one another. Now, I think she has great hair. I think she looks really wonderful when she has her hair both up and down, but I don't particularly love the super tight, sleek buns that are very, very tight, are very trendy right now because they are clean and whatnot. I think it looked fine when she did the napkin dress. I think that hairdo, even though it was really tight and sleek, I think that looked good for that outfit. But for example, these chignons that she did in these pictures, I think were just so much more flattering. They were more flattering to her face shape and her head shape. They were more flattering to the outfit. They made sense for the occasion, and I think that they were the right choice. However, the pieces hanging around the face, like I said, those are a bad idea because of all those things I've already mentioned. Her facial features are a little bit contrasting. Her cheeks and at times her chin can look super round, but her jawline is pretty prominent. Her hairline is very round in shape. Her forehead can look really round at times. The mandibular angle on her is very diamond and almost comes out a little bit from her face rather than just come in. It's kind of a triangle face shape. It's something we associate with rectangular face shapes a lot, especially since her face seems widest at either the cheeks or the jaw. So she has kind of both round and triangle elements to her face. And because of these contrasts, wearing lots of soft curls around the face is going to pull her into that very soft and round look for her face overall. Also, closing it in more just kind of throws things off a little bit for her proportions in her face. When she does very straight, closed-in look like we see here, it leaned into more of her angular features. And striking a balance somewhere in between would give the most balance to her face overall, but particularly when it's not too closed in around her eyes. I mean, remember, people thought she might have had plastic surgery when she came out with this super straight, sleek hair that was really pulled in. It's not super natural for our hair to fall into our eye line. It doesn't feel natural to us. It doesn't feel nice to us because we are designed and programmed to want to be able to see good. So we don't want our hair in our face. So it's never going to look the best if your hair is closing off part of your eye socket area. This is the haircut that if I were her hairstylist or her stylist or her friend would strongly recommend to her. This would give a curve rather than a curl around the face. It would allow for that good balance where maybe some of the width along here that she might be trying to hide a little bit or camouflage a little bit with the constant, closing in of the hair around here, it would allow to camouflage that a little bit and hide that a little bit without getting right here into her eye socket area. Also, this length would flatter her because it would hit her around the collarbones or a little bit longer. It would elongate her neck a little bit, and she wouldn't look like she's being eaten by her hair either. It's very important from an etiquette perspective to have your hair away from your eyes. It shows that you're not hiding, that you are trustworthy. It doesn't hide the nonverbal communication that we're always looking for, little signals and micro signals in the face that we are constantly picking up on without even noticing. Because when that stuff's hidden, it can give us the impression that the person is distant, cold, reluctant, or even untrustworthy. As we've talked about in the previous video about etiquette, it is not a good idea to be touching your clothes. Same thing with your hair. It's poor etiquette to always be touching your hair. Well, that's it for today's video, everybody. I hope you found it somewhat interesting and fun to watch. I will see you in the next one. Have a happy day.